We should do the whole video like this. Ooh.
Oh, it's dark right now. Ooh. 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 Man, is this the best we can do right now?
This is the best we can do.
Just do it like this. Ooh, look at our cake. Ooh.
Kind of looks like a Mario character.
What? What Mario?
So cute.
Should we turn the light on?
Yeah, I think we should turn the light on.
Hi guys! Welcome to an episode of Halloween Special. So we try to set this up as in the mood as possible. Dim the lights.
It's not dark out.
No, this is like...
Not willing to do this at night.
Don't give it away. It's dark out right now.
It's darker, but it's not nighttime.
Yeah, no, I refuse to do this at night.
Yeah.
And I was even thinking, like, do we do it here? Do we do it somewhere else? Because I have a thing where, I don't know.
I voted rice field in the middle of the night, but of course I was voted down.
No way, no
Could you imagine?
No, man. No, I'd be running so fast.
Yeah.
Like, it's no. If you tell people that you plan to go in the rice field in the middle of the night to do something like this,
for
people would freak out.
Oh, I thought you meant people would be waiting and try and scare you. Oh,
no,
yeah.
Because
people would freak out because they'd be like, "What are you, stupid?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, anyway. There is a saying in Thai, but I can't really translate it so that it makes sense.
I know what the saying is.
What?
Don't be stupid and go to the rice field in the middle of the night to tell ghost stories.
Yeah,
everyone's heard that one.
It's kind of almost like don't be ignorant to the whatever
the spirits.
The spirits, yeah. So, well, I mean, right now, I thought I was like, okay, well, maybe we just don't eat anything and just talk about the stories that we have picked on, like, you know, whatever. But we're like, oh, this is a cute cake. This is a Halloween theme.
Yeah. And
like,
best part, red velvet.
Yes.
So sorry. Let's see whose was gonna be the same. We have some ghost stories.
Yeah.
We wanted to give everyone enough time to post the comments.
No. I honestly thought the video that I was referring to was like not even that long ago.
I know.
Like maybe 6 months to a year. Like remember how we were saying we have no concept of time?
None.
We really don't have concept of time because the last ghost story we did was like 2 years ago.
That's crazy.
2 years ago. I don't
even see how that's possible.
Yeah. So we had the our real ghost story experience was the kettle. Mm-hmm. The got thou bed shake. Mm-hmm. That was the time that we were together. Mm-hmm. That we experienced it. Well, the got thou was I experienced it on my own.
Thank God I slept through that one. Yeah,
we just left. Yeah. So just a little recap: if you have missed our ghost stories previously, we will tell you these two stories again one more time.
Yes.
Quickly, maybe. I don't know. Maybe if you've heard it, fast forward. Let's get to the good part first, and then we'll ease ourselves into it. Should I cut it this way or should I cut it this way?
I don't know. You know, I'm gonna let you choose. Maybe cut it like that. Then it'll look pretty for longer.
Okay, yeah. I'll cut it in half because this cake is not it's not too big. So this is a red velvet.
You know, I don't know what it is. Even just cutting it seems delicious.
So let me just show you what it looks like inside.
Oh
the lady said that it's
There you go.
Oh man, it's like the perfect red velvet. Wow. So we won't touch the front
yet.
But I will cut this in half.
Sure.
Or yeah, maybe just use your fork. And then maybe I'll put it here so they can see.
Okay.
There we go. Move yours.
Yeah.
There you go. It's so dense, I feel like you can just pick it up.
And eat it like a corn on the cob.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that
Would
too.
you like a napkin?
I would love a napkin, please, because I think I'm going to get my face dirty here.
All right, you guys. I know it's that time of the year. It is a scary, gloomy month back home. Cold, rainy, Halloween season. Kids are out trick-or-treating, telling ghost stories, sleepovers. What else?
I never told ghost stories.
You know what's weird? I never told stories.
I never had sleepovers, actually.
What?
Yeah. I never. Did you have lots of sleepovers? Is that why?
Yeah.
Oh, I never had sleepovers.
I had lots of sleepovers. Oh, it's funny. You never had sleepovers, but I never had birthday parties.
There you go.
Anyways, my shovel.
I don't know which one I'd rather have, birthday parties or sleepovers.
Well, I had my sleepovers are with like my one best friend, so it's like it wasn't like a group of sleepovers,
But
like
still,
parties,
yeah,
slumber party or whatever,
yeah.
you know.
I never had sleepovers.
Yeah, huh?
No,
Well,
I
maybe
feel
because you're a dude.
Maybe. Seems kind of weird, dudes sleeping over. I don't know, but
Actually, yeah, you're right.
you
Yeah.
know, it's kind of
Well,
like,
no,
when
because
you're a kid, it's like you can stay up all night and play video
you
games
can
or
still
something.
go and hang out with your buddy. When you're
Oh,
Mm.
that is heavenly.
Wow. The cream cheese is a little.
I'm gonna have to stop talking now so I can just eat. Enjoy. Wow.
Oh,
It has like a bit of a different taste to it, even.
It's kind of not to the point where I would call it sour, but there is a taste to this cream cheese or cream filling. Red velvet cream cheese is what this is. The butter frosting
Is almost like a whipped creamy.
Anyway,
It's like red velvet without cream cheese is kind of like a carrot cake without a cream cheese icing. Why? What's the point? No one wants it. No one wants it without the cream cheese.
oh, good.
Yeah, it's really good.
We also have milk here as well. So, let me start by telling you guys that personally, as a child or growing up, I never believed in spirits, ghosts, or the extra ordinary, whatever phenomenon.
That seems very...
Until not recently, until when my grandmother passed away. Right? So this is my real ghost story. Well, I don't want to call it ghost story because I didn't actually see her. I have 2 incidents actually. I always knew that there was something out there, but I never really experienced it myself until my grandmother passed away, right? I was in Canada. I got the phone call, whatever, and I flew home for her funeral. And so when someone passed away in Thailand, you have, you kind of bless the body, or have everyone, or give all of your family members a chance to come say goodbye at the funeral. So you have the body in the casket and you have this Buddha ceremony. You light up candles and people sleep, and it's almost like not a very like sad funeral. It's almost like a farewell party. You have a farewell party, you come and you say your goodbyes, like you sleep in the same room as the casket, like,
wow.
And like people come all over the city to come and say goodbye. People, friends, family, whatever, relatives. But I was too afraid to sleep there. So I slept in the resort, like literally like 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes, 7 minutes away from my grandpa's house. It's right in front of the river. The river we always go to. Wait, actually no. Frick! I'm going backwards because I never really told this story to anyone except 3 people. My mom, my aunt, and my cousin. So anyway, before I had slept that night, so everybody was gathered there, having dinner, having some drinks. Not even like drinks. just everybody's just sitting down reminiscing and, you know, talking about my grandma and like what
Family time.
Family time, right?
Yeah.
And I can still remember it exactly what happened that night. The environment, the smell, the tone of the area, like because we sat outside, like we didn't sit inside in a room or anything or in the kitchen. Like we sat outside underneath the tent. It's muggy, it's hot. It was summertime. There is no wind, no breeze, no nothing, okay? We're all sitting there, probably a row of 10 and a row of 10 on the other side, on each side of the table. We're talking, and then all of a sudden, you know, all of a sudden we're talking, and all of a sudden, I don't know, for some reason, everybody just went quiet, and all of a sudden, we get this whiff of this scent. I smelled it first. I smelled it first, and I went like that. And then my cousin next to me, she goes, looked at me, and then everybody else was like, "Grandma's here."
Oh.
Yeah, I know. And that scent was I don't want to say holy, because it's not holy water. It is a blessing water we put on her face. We wash her face, and there's this distinct scent. That was the scent we all smell. And it's that's not even the creepy part. Creepy part was my uncle at the time was living in Bangkok, and he didn't make it to the funeral. My uncle didn't make it to the cremation of my grandmother because he didn't make it on time, had to take the bus, blah, blah, blah. Just before we had all smelled the scent, my uncle had walked through the gate 10 minutes prior. And then everybody was like, oh, she now knows we're all complete, because we were only waiting for my uncle. You know, my uncle that always gives us the coconut, him. And so we're like, oh, grandma's here. He knows you made it. Like, my cousin, like, shouted out because my uncle was, like, in the back. Mm-hmm. So ever since that day, I was like, wow, you know, like, and it was like because when your brain has just, how do you call that? Just introduced yourself with something new. It's kind of like you want to know more about it. You want to talk about it. You want to know what happened. You want to know how. You want to know what. You want to know where. You want to know when. Right? So it's kind of like, well, what the heck? Like, you know, like...
What's happening here?
Yeah, like, what's happening here? So anyways, two incidents that really, like, put me into a believer. That, also, that night when I went to my room to go to sleep, I remember specifically which way my head was going. I was sleeping, which side, north, west, south, east, whatever, right? And I had fallen asleep long ago, and I remember waking up like that with the same scent, and I remember I was like this. I was like, and then I turned around, and then for some reason I went again. Oh, I felt nothing. So I turned back this way, and I was like, oh. And at that moment, she came into my dream. Like, I thought I was dreaming, and it was so real that I thought I was dreaming, but I was also smelling her at the same time. But I saw her, and then when I turned this way, I smelled her, and then I opened my eyes. I was like, oh. And then I went back to sleep.
Wow.
I wasn't dreaming. Like, I was awake. You know what I mean? Like, I was sleeping, but I wasn't dreaming, but I was awake.
Yeah, you're in that, like, in-between stage.
Yeah, like, I saw her clear as a freaking blue sky. Like, I saw her, the outfit, in her favorite outfit. Like, I was sleeping, and then I saw her, and I was trying to wake up because I wanted to talk to her. And then I turned around, like, this way. Like, I turned this way to like go on this side of when I was sleeping. And yeah, ever since that day on, I was like, wow, I am a believer. I am a believer.
Wow.
But at the same time, I didn't want to, but I believed. But I didn't say it out loud. I was like, because then there's like all these other things that I didn't want to believe, Like,
true. There's a lot that goes along with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Because as they say, you can't take just the good. You have to take the good and the bad. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah. Ugh. That's what I don't like. And obviously I've read a lot about things like that too, where that's the time where like people's family members protecting them or coming to see them or sending animals to do like strange things and stuff like that. And that's beautiful and wonderful and fine. But then there's the other side. And that's the side where I'm always like, I'm out. Mm-hmm. Because you don't know, I don't think, which one it is until if it's something else. Like, yeah, if it's your family member or something like that, okay, obviously they mean you the best.
Yeah.
But it's when you experience something else, it's like, what was that? Mm-hmm. And what is its intention? Mm-hmm. Like, that's what I don't like. It's like...
So, like, when as I was trying to tell you that story of mine, I felt like I was kind of all over the place. I don't know if it didn't make sense. I'm sorry, but
no, I think it makes sense.
That's how I replay it in my head. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because my grandmother passed away. Like, I don't even know how many years ago. More than 15 years ago.
No.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
Because we haven't been together for 15 years.
No, sorry. Maybe like...
Here comes 10. The no concept of time again.
I know.
We like to give you examples.
I know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, like, maybe 8?
10.
9?
Yeah.
9?
Yeah.
So it was like just a little bit after we got together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So...
Because it was after our wedding.
Yeah, she was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was there.
So...
Yeah, she was there.
Let's put it in a little bit more. Yeah. Time frame for you. But like for me it was weird. Like I always remember, I don't know, I've told the story many times about when I was a kid and my parents, and like it was just never this, it was always this, it wasn't like a thing, but it was just like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, if you see things, don't worry about it. But I remember seeing my great grandmother when I was a kid and she had died, and I remember going to the funeral and it was open casket, and I remember looking and I was like, it's not even like a person. Like, it's different. Like, something's different. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, they're lifeless. They're sleeping. It's just a shell. Like
it's a shell. That's what it is.
That's why I always say, like, your body is just a shell.
It's just a shell.
Once your spirit is gone.
Yeah. And ever since then, I was like, it's just, I don't know. It struck me in such a weird way, even as a kid, where it's like, it looks like a piece of Play-Doh in there. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing to it. There's something. It's still that person.
Yeah.
But there's something missing. What's missing is kind of like what I'm trying to get at. You know what I mean? Like your spirits. Yeah, exactly. But usually, like as a child, you wouldn't be thinking, well, what's missing from this scene here?
True.
So.
Yeah.
But
I guess. I'm not really afraid to tell that story because it was my grandma. Mm-hmm. Like it wasn't something weird. Like I'm not scared. Like I wasn't scared.
No.
At all. I wasn't scared.
I'm not. I don't mind telling stories after the fact. It's like I just don't want to talk about it. At the time.
but the time that the whole kettle incident, I was scared. I was so freaking scared. The
scared
bed
enough to leave me in there by myself.
The bed shaking in Koh Tao, I was scared.
Yeah, I'd be scared.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, the worst part about Koh Tao was there's only like one ferry a day. So if
no, I didn't care. I would have stayed in the hotel lobby.
Yeah, me too. I would have called a cab and went to the ferry dock and waited all morning. Like,
no, you guys, like, okay, maybe we should tell the story because the people, like, new viewers are be like, what was it? So, anyways, I'm not even gonna say when. Anyway, this one year, Aaron and I, we were in my mom's area. We stayed at this really, it's not old, but it's like really simple hotel that it's just like a room, bathroom, bed. That's it. A door. Okay. So it was the last day that we were there, and it was the last day we were there. Yeah. And it was the morning of the day that we were going to check out.
But the whole time we had been there, we had been annoyed by someone standing outside our, what I thought at the time, AC unit, by the AC or something like that, and smoke kept blowing inside. And I was like, what the hell, who's sitting around? Because they're huts, they're individual huts. It's not a room like at a hotel, like a big hotel people are thinking. It's
like
just
a bungalow.
It's there you go. They're bungalow with a whole bunch of them next to it with a little road in front that you just drive up and park in front of your bungalow. So I was like, is somebody sitting outside all night? And one night I got up there and I was like, I'm going to ask this person to stop. Because I don't want to lay in the room here and smell cigarettes when you're trying to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So I go outside, no one around, nothing. No smell outside. No, I looked around, and then I figured, I was like, well, wait a second. The AC units, it doesn't blow inside. Yeah. It's a 2-part system where it's only like that little refrigerant hose, and it's not like blowing air from the outside. And I was like, what the heck? And I was like, oh, well, whatever.
Yeah.
So, but it kept happening.
Right. So I kind of skipped that part.
Yeah.
I had smelled it too, but I was like, oh, whatever. It's so normal. Like everybody smokes.
Everybody smokes in Asia.
Everybody smoke anywhere. They have no consideration of who's there, who's like getting the secondhand smoke, right? And it didn't even occur to me that when I'm smelling these cigarettes smoke, it's at night, it's at midnight, it's at 1 o'clock. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. It's in the morning, late hours. So the day that we were about to check out, it was like 6 o'clock. So we had just gotten up, trying to wake up, brush our teeth, take a shower. Not even. We just had tea. And I had already showered, so I'm like getting ready. Aaron right now is currently in the shower. And I heard the kettle go off. No.
You heard the kettle go on.
Okay, on.
Yes. Big difference.
I heard the kettle go on. So, yes. So this is our kettle. You have to push down. Push
a lever down.
Not a lever. And then it's, you have to push the thing down to like, I'm pissed because I'm like, you actually have to push the button down to turn it on.
Yes.
Like.
And you have to think, it's a safety feature because you can't have a plugged in appliance just turning on and burning a house down. So it doesn't just turn on by itself.
No, I'm laughing because now I'm like, oh, babe, are you having tea?
While I'm showering.
While he showered. He's like, no. Why? I was like, well, why did you turn the kettle on? And he's like,
I heard it go on too.
I didn't turn the kettle on. I was like,
I thought it was you. Yeah.
What do you mean you didn't turn the kettle on? I was like, no, I didn't turn the kettle on. I was like, I was like, I didn't do it. He didn't do it. There's the only two of us. I was like, oh my God. So the reason why it's probably at 6 because it's still pitch black out. Still pitch black. It can almost be passed as 5 a.m.
Yeah.
4:30, 5:30 a.m. I was scared.
No, thank you.
So then the second time, same trip, just different day. We took a trip down south to Koh Tao.
You left something out though too.
I didn't want what?
About when you, because I was like, I was upset, and I was like, you need to ask the hotel owner about this.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm not gonna ask. I'm like, well, I'm gonna Google Translate something and ask it and look like an idiot if you don't go up there and ask. And she's like, fine, I'll go ask. And then
so I went up there because, of course, all the workers there are local, right? They're local girls, receptionists, cleaners. So I had asked somebody who was there that day in the morning because it was really early. It was only that one girl. So I just, nonchalantly be like, hey, has anybody complained who has stayed in that room that they had, smelled cigarettes in the middle of the night? She's like, oh, no, why? Oh, nothing. I was just curious. And then I was like, oh, well, And then, so I paused, and then she was like, but you know, sometimes regular customers come there and they request for that room. I was like, what? Really? Why? She said, I don't know. And then I was like, okay, the reason why I'm asking. So I told her, and then she's like, oh, we've never heard that story before. But there was a story, there had been a incident that a man had died. And then that's when she told me.
Yeah.
And he smokes a lot.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he wanted some tea.
Or maybe maybe they built this is my own theory. Maybe they built that hotel on top of where he used to live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think so.
I got scooped up. Because it's in the back area where nobody really goes. Looking back, that area is all like rice field and all where they raise cows and people. Yeah, anyways. So that was my theory.
Oh.
So anyway, I don't even know we're going to get to the story we're supposed to read.
I know.
So anyways, fast forward a few days later, like 5 days, we took a trip down south, and we were really excited. I'd never been to Koh Tao before, and Aaron has, but we've never been there together. So we got this beautiful resort, freaking island view, ocean view, pool in the front,
on the ocean.
right on the ocean.
Another hut.
Our hut is the only hut on that big rock, and to go there you have to go down the steep hill a little bit to the right, and then you're there. But it's very private. We're like, oh my god, this is so cool.
And
like,
it is built on the ocean bedrock.
Yes.
Like it is bedrock.
Yeah,
it is
bedrock.
right on the giant rocks.
Yeah.
And
like the bathroom, like the walls are the actual rock, because the rock is so big, and then so basically the hut was built around the rock itself. And it's weird though, because and I never told you this, but because I was like, okay, well, I don't want to call it out. I don't want to point it out. Maybe I'm just, because the whole kettle incident had just happened, so maybe I'm just paranoid, Maybe I'm just tripping.
Yeah.
So I'm not even gonna say anything, So anyways, it was a really, really big bathroom. Some parts are really dark because of the rock. And when I first got there, I was like, oh, this kind of, I didn't want to use the word creepy, but it was because it was really, really dark, and it seemed like something's there if you were like, you kind of just look quickly, and anyway.
Ugh.
So anyway, fast forward, our first night sleeping there. This is it. I don't know. At the time, I was like, okay, maybe I was just really tired. Maybe, I don't know. We didn't even drink that night, did we? No, right?
No.
Like we went to sleep normally because we were like really exhausted.
Yeah, we were traveling all day.
So Aaron, by this point, he's like fast asleep, snoring, and I'm just falling asleep. And, as I'm falling asleep, I kid you not, the bed starts to shake for a split 2 seconds. Like if this is the bed, it's like 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
So I wouldn't fall asleep. I firmly believe I've heard stories that, sometimes spirits just play with you because they don't want you to go to sleep. Dang it. So anyway, the first time I was like, oh, maybe Aaron moved. So I was like trying to listen, snoring. Because, as you're falling asleep, maybe you're like hallucinating or whatever, right? Like you're still. I was like, no, he's sleeping. I was like, okay, whatever. I'll just go to sleep. As I'm falling asleep one more time, I was like, ugh. It happened to me twice that night. And then I remember specifically, I said it in my head. I was like, please just let me go to sleep. Please just let me go to sleep.
Oh.
And then I fell asleep.
I don't know how you could go to sleep.
Okay, because we're in the middle of nowhere. We can't go anywhere.
Yes.
And you're fast asleep. So I'm not going to be selfish and be like, babe, I can't sleep because this just happened. And
I'd be selfish.
Like,
I'm selfish.
No, and
I'd be awake, and I'd be like, we need to pack and go.
I think if I didn't fall asleep,
I think we would just need to go. Like, yeah. So there's the recap.
So that's the recap.
Okay.
So that's the recap.
But importantly, you did forget something from the first story too, though.
What?
So after we'd all packed up and we were leaving, after I'd finally made it outside, after being left in the room trying to organize everything, we were driving, and that's when we were leaving to go to the airport, and you started asking your cousin about it. And apparently there is a bunch of things that go on in that area that people are familiar with spirits.
I mean, there's lots of spiritual stories.
Right away, he's like, oh, yeah. Yeah. Like...
No, and I've covered this before. Like,
yeah, so...
ghosts are among the living.
Yeah.
You're living with the spirits.
Yes.
If you... Man, I have so many stories, but it's kind of like I'm just all over the places. Okay, so my cousin Dong, right? He's like, oh, did you ask for lottery number? I was like, no, I did not ask for the lottery number. I was too scared. And then when I told my mom's like, oh, they're not real. My mom is the number one person, still currently. I don't know if she's just telling me or trying to convince herself.
I feel like
that she doesn't believe in ghosts.
Yeah, I
or
feel like
spirits
it's
or anything like that because she's like, oh, they're not real. Like, don't think it's real. It's not real. She's one of those. She's one of those.
Yeah.
Like my aunt, for example. She the new house that my mom's in. She's been in that property because our house is here, my mom's house is here, and she lives just behind the bushes. And you guys have seen her, like my aunt with all the dogs, my mom's oldest sister. She's like, oh, ask me. I lived here many years. What do you want to know? Like she's like
nothing.
She's like living with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyways. I forgot to put a warning. If you guys are scared, I suggest you don't watch this.
Stop now. Yeah.
Because these are real stories other people have experienced. And this is the story. These are the comments underneath my ghost story or story time from like 2 years ago. COVID time.
Some of them, it's like reading them, it gave me goosebumps like right away.
Oh my gosh.
I was like...
And forgive me if I'm like this because it's on my phone and it's like really small.
Yeah.
Really,
I
really
can't
small.
see it from here.
Oh,
I'm like...
Ghost. This one in particular, I sort of picked out because it had like... It was in relation to my grandma story. So this one, okay, here goes. A week after my mom passes, my daughter and I were in her room sorting out her clothing. I told my daughter, look, you might like this blouse. And the light flickers. We both looked at each other and said, Grandma.
Wow.
I've been seeing a bunch of unnatural stuff since I was 9 years old. Oof. When I was of the age I could see white figures in front of the screen door of my grandma's house. Or in one of the bathrooms, literally sitting on her bed. As a kid, it was labeled as a playful imagination by my family, but that kind of encounter that didn't stop or doesn't stop. When I was 14, I literally saw this thing again on the very same screen door directly facing towards me, and my body just froze on the spot. It's like as if the world stops. Oh man, and when finally I could move my body, I run as fast as I could while screaming. That time I know my parents already believed me. There are also some weird encounters on the screen door if it was literally in the afternoon. The door would suddenly lock by itself. It's not as if wind can lock it. Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like things that...
Like the kettle.
Yes.
Pushing it down. You're pushing it down. The lock is like you're locking it. You're locking it.
Yeah.
Ugh. Anyway, so it goes on. One distinct feature that is embedded in me in every encounter is that the white figure has her white hair tied in a bun, which indicated that it was an old woman later found out. My mother's late mother always loved to tie her hair. Oh, so it was her
grandmother. Man. Like, even like, looking for places and stuff like that, like, when we were, like, looking for a house to live in and stuff like that, I always want to know what happened to the last people who lived here. Yeah. Even my very first home that I purchased, it was like an old couple home, you know, like the green shag carpet and all that. I was like, what happened to these people? Like, nobody has died in this home that you know of, do you? Like, it's like, man, so scary.
So the next, man, I wish it was better. Like, it's not even, I just want to show you guys. So it's like literally this small. And if I flip it, it's this small. It's even smaller.
I know.
And I hadn't really read the whole thing before. So
and then you make it bigger and then you got to scroll back and forth.
Yeah.
I know. That's what I'm going to have to do.
So never believed in stories like that until I experienced it myself. I just came from my trip from the USA, and we stopped in a very old hotel in San Antonio. Oh. San Antonio, Texas. Hotel name is the Emily Morgan. If you Google it, you can see how old this hotel is. And what was before it became a hotel. Oh, we should Google that. So the first night was fine. We slept good. We laughed.
That's how it starts.
Yeah, about
the first night was
hotel.
Fine.
Oh, the first night we laughed, and what was said about this hotel is not true. Second night was my nightmare. I was sleeping in the middle of the night and felt someone standing behind me. I was so scared to open my eyes, so I just waited. So I waited and I waited, and then I felt someone or something was coming close to my face. It was like a black shadow. I was so scared I couldn't even scream, so I was just making some weird sound, and my friend was sleeping in the bed beside me. She woke up. She was calling my name, and after some time I woke up. Then I fell asleep again. I don't know how much time passed. I started again feeling someone was behind me, and I knew it was just a dream, so I decided to turn around and see what was happening here. So I turned around and see a black shadow was kind of like smashing his head on my pillow. So I screamed my friend's name, and again she woke up, and she woke me up, and after this I couldn't fall asleep.
Yeah. Like, no. And I don't understand how some people go seeking, like, haunted hotels. They're like, oh, this hotel's haunted. Do you want to go stay here? No! That's not a feature for me. Like, you know?
It's, you know, yeah, no. My cousin May, actually, she said that she was the one, okay, my cousin May is, like, a different person. She has this whole, like, she's the one that was, she's always telling me real ghost stories and real...
I feel like May.
She had opened my third eye.
Yeah, I feel like May is like the kid from The Sixth Sense.
Oh, I swear, she sees things.
I know.
And she tells me things, and I'm just like, May, stop.
Yeah.
You know, but if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't know the customary of what to do. For example,
run.
No. For example, if you feel something or a sense, or if you know something's there for, like, you know, even if you don't know 100%, all you have to do is just either say it in your head or inside yourself and say, you know, like, just basically almost, or if you want to, speak out loud. It's like, hey, leave me alone. Go away. I'm just here for a night. Or if, you know, in a hotel, be like, please let me sleep here for the night. Then I'll be gone tomorrow.
Please let me pack my things. I do not want housekeeping to have to pack my luggage. Just let me pack my things and I will go.
No.
Give me 5 minutes. I won't even touch anything in the bathroom. I'll leave my toothbrush and soap and shampoo. I just want my clothes.
No. Basically, you're asking permission to be where you are. Because the spirits or the people that is there now was there before you. So you're basically just trying to, you know.
And you gotta think, it's like, how old are some of these spirits?
Old.
Yeah, that's what's scary too.
Old, but
like,
not old.
History's violent.
Yeah.
You know, like...
But the thing is, though, there are old spirits that never really aged, I should say.
Yes.
So if there's little
There's
kids,
children.
There's children.
Yeah.
Spirits.
One of my friends' houses was haunted by a child.
Frank.
And it was, and they heard it all the time. And I saw some weird stuff there too. But I never actually saw the little ghost girl, thank God. But I saw some very strange happenings. And I was not... They're like, it's okay. It's just a little girl. It's like, no. And it's funny because we would always drink there before we went out and to the club and stuff like that. And if we came back from like the bar or the club and back to their house and I was too drunk to drive, I would always go sleep in my car. And all my friends would always laugh at me because I'm sleeping in my car on the street. And they're just like, you're going to sleep in your car. I was like, I am not sleeping in this house.
Oh my God.
Like, yeah. No way.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever noticed, well, maybe you have, if you've ever visited Thailand or like neighboring countries, you see these spiritual housing sitting either outside somewhere at someone's house or just an empty lot. That's just an indication of like that's the spiritual's house that they bless, they feed, they just basically
that's where the spirit lives.
That's where the spirits lived. And people who have that in front of their house believe that it's actually protecting them and their property. So anyone who doesn't belong in that property and come without asking permission, sometimes they experience things. And I believe that.
I do too.
Yeah. So that's why if I go anywhere now, like, well, not now, but like have been, I always ask for permission. And
I think it kind of helps with like people you care about passing away, because it's like, I feel like, whether you believe whatever religion you believe in, right?
Yeah.
It's like whatever it is, it all almost boils down to the same fundamental belief system, right?
Yes.
So it's kind of like, there's something else out there. So
there is, like, whatever it is that you call it,
Yeah.
it's essentially the same thing.
Yes.
It is the same thing.
It is the same thing. I that is my belief. It's like it all.
It
when
is.
if you boil everything down and take out all the things that people have put on it and stuff like that, it all kind of boils down to
like, to me, it's just like the soul that has been on this earth that is no longer here but can't go anywhere, or maybe that is just it. Maybe we really don't go anywhere. We just sort of hang around.
Maybe we just hang around and watch people.
Maybe.
Scary.
The next story is this is. Do you want to read this one or
no? I think it's too small for me.
Too small?
Yeah, I could try, but I'll have to make it like bigger and then scroll and scroll and scroll.
Okay. Yeah, I'm all kicked out, so...
So it's on to the veggie chips?
Ah.
Okay, so we got the laptop now, so this will be better.
It's like this big.
Hopefully. Okay, here, this is a good one. FYI, long comment too, right off the top it says. I'm the same. I can always feel when there's a good or bad spirit around me. In my late teens, until I got married in my early 20s, I used to feel a spirit who'd follow me around. I never felt scared of the spirit. I felt like the spirit was guarding, protecting me. During this time, I was still trying to find myself, and I was lost in life. I will always feel that this spirit when I'm driving to work. Used to work a graveyard shift, it says. At work during the night, the guys would be too scared to go out and check the site, and I used to go instead, the only female who worked on site. I would never be scared because I always felt like someone was watching out for me. Even when I was at home on my days off sleeping during the night, sometimes I would feel someone else in the room with me. One night I felt a strong energy and I couldn't sleep, and I turned around and saw this spirit, a dark shadow of a tall man. Ooh, it's like, man, right away, it's like, I don't know why, it just gives you goosebumps. It's like,
yeah.
Standing firm like a soldier in the corner, didn't move or anything. Then I turned back around and went into a deep sleep. One night I was sleeping in my room, and one of my flatmates was one of my flatmates was up for a midnight snack. There was a door in between the kitchen and the hallway, and you could see directly into the kitchen. My flatmate said she went to get something from the cupboard in the kitchen, and from the corner of her eyes, she saw a shadow at my door. She described the same thing, a tall man like a soldier standing firm. A couple weeks later, me and my flatmates were up having a midnight snack, and my flatmate brought it up in the conversation. Then 3 of my other flatmates said that they'd had the same experience but didn't know whether to say anything or not. Fast forward 2 years, I moved back in with my parents to the South Island to look after my parents' health, which wasn't too great. Again, I worked graveyard shifts, and every time I would drive to work, I would feel the spirit with me in the car.
Wow.
One time, my sister and her kids came to visit, and one night, me and my sister were all bunked in the same room, and I had set my alarm to 4 a.m. the next morning to get my father and mother's stuff ready for a church conference in the next morning. As my father was a minister, it says. It was winter time too, so it was freezing. Anyways, my alarm went off at 4 a.m. and I snoozed it and went back to sleep. Then all of a sudden, my little niece started crying. Me and my sister thought she will go back to sleep, but she didn't. Then her cry started to sound like she was crying of fear. Me and my sister got up and asked her what was wrong, and my niece was struggling to speak as she was so scared. Fast forward to when she calmed down, my niece said she saw a tall man standing at the door. Oh my God, it just gave me shivers again. She described he was tall with a long black coat and with a white thing on his neck. She meant like a collar, kind of like what ministers wear. And she said he looked like Papa Cuckoo. K-A-U-K-A-U, however that is. I'm not sure for...
Kwaku.
Kwaku. My grandpa, who was also a minister, had passed years ago, and she knows him because of the big photo in the living room of him in his ministry attire.
Oh my God.
And that's how she knew his name, Papa.
Wow.
All we knew straight away was that my grandpa was waking my ass up to get my parents' stuff ready for an important day.
Yeah.
Years went by, and I started putting puzzle pieces together that it was my grandpa all along, all those years, everywhere with me in my life. And I knew it was going to be a hard time in my life, and someone was there helping me to hold my life together, because he was always the glue to our family. His nature and his ways of life as a soldier. Family and serving the community and church was his life, and he always... while he was alive, and he always had our family's back all the time. It's like...
And then she put at the end, LOL.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that really LOL?
Is that an LOL?
Yeah.
Like, man.
Oh my God. So like, see, what I have to say is that it's like, it's almost like, yes, they're staying behind to protect you, but it's like, you know what I mean? Like, what about the people who aren't trying to look out for you?
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like, there's a lot of bad people in the world, right?
Yeah. And we believe that, say, if you had passed away tragically, your spirits are at the spot that you passed away because your spirits was shook and is disoriented and can't find your way home. So that's why
it's almost like they don't know they're dead.
Yeah. Because it's so sudden and it's so tragic. And that's why a lot of times if, say, if your loved one got into a horrible accident or something, freak accident, you usually go to the spot and call them home. Like there's a ceremony that comes with it, of course. And I've seen it a lot. And when I was little, I was like, why do you do that? Like, I don't know, it's just olden ways.
Yeah.
That people believe that it's,
And it's funny, like, they don't have things like that in North America.
Right?
Like, and it seems like Western religions have tried to distance themselves from spirituality in a way. Do you know what I mean? Like the afterlife, and because they used to fully embrace it.
Yeah.
Like, but now it's like, it doesn't seem like they do it. Now it's something more of like a myth.
I don't know if this is really weird, but when I'm in Canada, I'm not as scared.
No, I don't.
But when I'm elsewhere, like, it's almost like in the back of my head, like, oh, something's there.
But do you know what, do you know what my belief is behind that?
What?
Is that Canada has obviously been populated for a long, long time by the Native Americans who originally lived there, but they were very sparse compared to Asia. Do you know what I mean? Like it was very spread out. They were smaller tribes, whereas Asia,
it's everywhere.
They've been doing planting and agriculture for a very long time, and their population has boomed a long, long, long time ago. Whereas it was hunter-gatherers mostly there. So,
so she goes, I believe, as in like I believe, because it happened to me when I was 39 years old, 12 years ago. It was years ago, but because I knew that what was happened was a maybe once in a lifetime, I tried to stay calm and soaked it all in to remember it forever. It's like it happened yesterday. So we bought a van, which made a strange sound whenever I started it. I told my husband to tell the dealership, but they said to give it a few weeks because it would probably just stop. It did. Now and then, I would feel like I couldn't make the car stop even after pushing the brakes all the way, which freaked me out. That too happened maybe 3 times. I thought it was just because I was still getting used to operating it. Then something happened that I can't explain until now. I was babysitting an infant and I had my 6-year-old son with me inside McDonald's. We sat at a table that was facing the van. Oh my God, I'm already scared. While we were eating, I was shocked to see a lady sitting in the back seat of the van. I thought, wow, the nerve. Then I thought that surely she just mistakenly sat in the van, in the wrong van. Or that I was wrong because maybe it was her van. I looked and saw my son's 3 karate medals. That's when it hit me. I was looking at something I couldn't. What? I was looking at something I shouldn't be seeing. I started taking mind picture of her. How was her hair done? What exactly was she was doing? Her hair was contemporary, long, sleek, bound together at the base of the head and the back. She had a McDonald's bag in her right, and she just sat there and waited. What the heck?
Oh.
She didn't look scary at all. My son then said to me that he needed to use the bathroom, which was situated in a way that I could still see the van from there. I pushed the stroller and followed my son to the one toilet bathroom, but I kept looking at the van to see if she would leave if she was an actual person. I wedged the stroller between the door and the door frame, told my son that I was going to stay like that, waiting for him. I know that the lady never left my van, so although I no longer saw her, we got rid of the van shortly after this experience. I remembered it like it was only yesterday. No, seriously though, experiences like that really, 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 really stick and imprint into your head, especially if it's a real one. It like somehow freaks you out. Like the night of my grandmother, like I still remember it. I can still smell her. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
The way that it's imprinted in your head.
It's such a strong emotional thing that I would attribute that more to something about McDonald's or the area they were in rather than her car specifically. Maybe something happened to somebody there who was waiting for their McDonald's, and they're still waiting for it to this day.
That's just goosebumps.
But it's true though. I feel like spirits more get tied to an area, like you said, not like a possession.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially a old van.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I should keep going. I don't know if I could do this. How many stories was that? At least 6?
No, I think that was 3 or 4.
What?
Yeah, well, including ours, maybe 6. Ours probably counts for 2 because that was a long story.
All right. How about I read one more?
Okay.
And then,
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. Maybe we'll try and do another one next year.
We should do a part 2.
Part 2?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do it with my sister. I don't know.
Ooh.
No, maybe not. No. She left. I'll just do this one.
Okay.
And then we'll okay. Okay, I've got 2 stories, this person says. I lived in a house that had 2 sets of stairs. I came down the first set and stepped into the kitchen and grabbed the door to go out to the other stairs. Upon twisting the doorknob, the door wouldn't open, and I thought my brother was messing with me because I felt a pull from the other side. I then realized I was home alone and let go of the doorknob. I said out loud, "Let go of the door." See? When I went to turn the knob, no resistance, and it opened right up. Yeah. I didn't go downstairs. I went back to my room. LOL. That was the first story.
Yeah.
Second one. See, but that's the thing. Like, they can hear you.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
You can talk to them. Anyway, second story. My room was across the hallway from the bathroom, but that hallway looked down the stairs into the living room. One night, I literally ran to the bathroom, covering my vision, looking down the stairs. When I came out of the bathroom, I saw a light very dimmed at first, and then it slowly started to get bigger, like something was climbing up the stairs.
Oh.
My reaction, WTF. As soon as I said I added the light dim like it was going down the stairs and disappeared. Trust me, I ran so fast to my room and covered myself with a blanket and prayed. I have more, but these are like one of the ones happened while I was by myself.
Man.
But
the worst part is, I understand it, but it's always at night. It's like...
no, but that's the thing. Like, that's why...
when they are. That's when they're strongest.
Like that's why they say, when you wake up,
the witching hour
from 2, 3, 4, those are, no, they say, from what I've been told, they say that those are the hours that the gate is open.
Have you ever heard of ghost cats?
Ghost cats?
Yeah,
no.
like animals, and people have said that, like, there's like ghosts of cats. I read about too, like people.
What?
Yeah, there's also spirit ghosts of animals too. I know. Cats are strange, though. I could see that. I could see ghost cats for sure. If anything, it's going to be cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anything. It's cats. Cats and children.
Oh, yeah.
They have a pure soul, yeah. Maybe I'll read this one.
Okay.
I was living in Texas. We rented a new house. It was weird because at night we would be hearing dishes and glasses in the dining room as if family was having dinner.
Oh, my God.
I know, right? Frick! One day I was changing my son's diaper. He was 2 years old then. As I laid him on the floor putting his diaper on, he quickly covers his eyes and started crying. There was a time also when I was in the middle of sleeping. I felt hands wrapped around my ankles. And it literally pulled me down from my bed. I freaked out, got up so quick, and put the covers on me and didn't sleep until the sun came out. So, I happened to find out that the people that were living there 3 years ago are deceased. It was 3 older siblings living together, 2 women and a man. The old man died of a stroke in the same room where I was changing my son's diaper. I'm pretty sure he is the man that my son saw when he covered his eyes and started crying. And the same man who pulled me off my bed. Oh my gosh. See, and that's the thing, like, you need to know how to live with them. If they're there, either that or move out.
And even if you move, sometimes they can follow you.
Oh, on that note.
Oh, God.
Spirits that follow you, they say if you go anywhere, don't just shout out, "Okay, everybody, let's go home."
Because then it's going to know where you're going?
No.
Oh.
Then you're like, well, they don't know you're not calling them. They're like, okay,
true.
we're going home. Let's go home.
You got to eye everybody out. You come, you come, you come, you come. Anybody else who I didn't say, stay.
No, seriously, though.
Yeah, no.
But that's only if you're, like, in, like, the wilderness or, like, I don't know, somewhere. I don't know the rules, but like, I'm just saying.
I'm glad I'm not one of those like people who sees them like everywhere. Like,
man, right? Like that person that has been seeing that shadow for like 30 years.
Oh, God.
Oh, I got one. There's another one that's like a really, maybe this is the last one.
Okay.
Here's one for you. I'm 42 now. When I was 12, my papa died. A little tidbit about me. I was adopted out of the hospital. The second grandchild, and my papa, Ralph, was my everything. My grandma was babysitting me while my mom was at work. And every day my papa would come home from the carbon plant, just black with soot.
It's a real word.
Soot. And while he'd walk up the long driveway, I'd go out and sit on the porch swing. He'd always look at me and say, "Hey, buddy." In fact, as a toddler, my first word was buddy. He was my buddy. And up until my cousin was born and she was old enough to talk, that nickname stuck for him. Until she started calling him Papa and his name changed. LOL. He ended up getting cancer, likely from his many years working in the carbon plant. But I remember having the conversation with him as a 10-year-old or 11-year-old about heaven. And I said to him that if he had to go there, would he make sure to tell me that he was okay? And he was, of course, said he could. 2 years later, he passed away. I was inconsolable. Absolutely devastated. For weeks, it was so hard. I remember our conversation. And would go to bed every night and saying,
What?
I can't read it.
Oh.
No, I can't read it.
Oh.
You did.
Where did you leave off? Where did you point? And every night and say, "I love you, Papa. I miss you. I'm waiting to hear from you. P.S. Please don't scare me." How true. That's what I would say too. One night I had this dream. I came to waking up walking up the long sidewalk to my grandparents' house. I looked up and my papa was sitting on the swing, healthy, happy, robust, like he used to be, and smiled, and he said, "Well, hey there, buddy. I've been waiting for you." Ugh. Oh my God, that gave me shivers again. My whole face is like shivering. And I ran up to him and gave him the biggest hug and smooch. I could feel his stubble on my cheeks. He looked at me and said, "Now, no more crying, buddy. I'm always with you, I promise. All you have to do is close your eyes and talk to me. I'll be there." And I knew he had to go. He faded out. I woke up crying. I rolled over in my bed and I could smell his Camel no-filter cigarettes.
Yep.
And his aftershave. And I looked towards my door just to see him walking down my steps. I could hear his boot falls. This was such a profound sense of peace, and I knew that he was okay. And I was going to be okay. Not so much scary, but it's something I remember in minute detail still to this day. Yeah. Like, man.
Cut. It's like, what the f***? It's supposed to be a scary thing, and I'm crying.
Man.
No, but you know why, though? Because it's, like, exactly like my grandma.
Yeah, for sure. That's crazy.
Like that story right there is exactly... Of course, I left that part out, but it was exactly like, you know, she was like, okay, like, you're gonna be okay.
Mm. Yeah, and that's the thing. People that you care about and care about you, they might never be gone. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's quite the note to end the ghost stories on.
I know, I was like thinking, what the heck? A ghost story turned into a freaking emotional freaking wreck.
Jeez.
Anyways, you guys, I think this is long enough. I hope this didn't scare you too much. And Yeah, maybe you learned something today about a spirit and how and what to do when you encounter one. Stay calm and ask for a lottery number.
I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could stay calm. Like,
on a serious note, it's
like,
use your common sense. Like, if you're scared, you're gonna be scared.
There's nothing you can do, like, in that moment. It's almost like, it's all like I think it's, people remember it so much because it's almost like a car accident. It just happens.
I know, it just happens. And sometimes things happen so fast that you can't even properly process it.
Yes.
And you don't even know what to do.
Yeah, that's for sure it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you're laying in bed, you're trying to go to sleep, and then something's like, or
that one where the person is like pulling your leg. It's like, why is it always the girl's pulling your leg? Why not your arm? You always hear like, oh, they're pulling my leg.
True.
Like, that's what I always wonder. Anyways, you guys, happy Halloween. I hope you got lots of candy or given out lots of candy.
Both.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Don't leave any more ghost stories in this video. Or do whatever you want.
I still like to read them.
Yeah, totally. Maybe we can come back in 2 years and read the comments under here.
Hey, there you go.
Or next year.
There you go.
Maybe we'll make this a tradition.
There you go. That would be a good tradition.
Right? Yeah. A Halloween tradition.
And next time, we'll properly better prepare so we can read them better. It's like, man, I feel like I need a giant poster here.
I know.
Anyway.
But yeah, so you guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you in the next one. Bye. Bye.